repeat what I saw him say on TV to a bunch of hard-charging high school kids. Fighting Taliban and Russian enemy fighting positions through a laden field of improvised explosive devices is easier and less nerve-wracking than giving a speech. And Sergeant Jones, you're spot on. So I'm going to give it my best shot. Our first tribute tonight is to recognize all the family members, the wives, if there's any children in the audience, the fiancés, the girlfriends, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, uncles, etc., for their sacrifices in covering the home front while we deploy overseas in harm's way. There is no way we could do what we do in the environments we do them in without you. The continuous love, support, mentorship, guidance, rawest form of leadership, and understanding is second to none in which you provide to the Marines. And the one liner I always hear is that the Marines are our nation's finest. And while that may be true, I say the families are our nation's finest. The daily challenges you family members confront while your Marine and or sailor is overseas, while raising our children, as well as the uncertainty you face, knowing your loved ones in harm's way, on the front line. And I have to emphasize front line, because what I learned last year is combat engineers are truly the tip of the spear. The tip of the spear. It is truly remarkable, and we are lucky to have such beautiful women and supporting families on our flanks. I am deeply humbled, and I am deeply honored to have served with your Marines. So if I may, if the family members could please stand for one moment so we can give you a round of applause. As I stand here and look around the room, I am humbled, and I'm really humbled to be the one standing here at the podium. So I have to push a second tribute, and that second tribute is to honor those Marines whose legacy we are committed and proud to carry on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a menu of names of special guests we have in the audience. Their recognition is deserved and well earned. Sergeant Mike Shepard, Combat Engineer, Marine Corps League Detachment 426. Jeff Baker. Sergeant Stevens, Infantry, a.k.a. Hollywood Marine. Colonel Nervo, 2 tours Vietnam, Company Commander, Battalion CO, and served at TBS, shaping and molding our future officer corps. Corporal Matt Ward, Combat Engineer, Bravo Company alum, hoorah. Roger Flippin, Infantry. Gordon Middlecoff, Sergeant DeGraff, MP. Master Gunnery Sergeant Hall, Combat Engineer. Haywood Sweeney, Sergeant Mundy, it's an honor, sir. Lawrence Gore, Sergeant James Curtis, Motor T, we need him. Lance Corporal Franlin, I'm not going to mess with this guy, 0331 machine gunner. Also served in Vietnam in the Combined Action Program. And Master Sergeant Tom Bedwell, Infantry and MP, Somalia vet. Please give these warriors a round of applause. Now, if I could focus the attention on those 15 names I just called, it's going to stick to an operative theme why we're here tonight. These warriors, those names, are legends of our Corps and others. They may have worn different uniforms. They may have served at a different time. They may have fought a different enemy. But they all wore the same Eagle Globe and Anchor that we wear proudly today. And for those who paid in full, and I pause, the ultimate sacrifice, they're written in our history and have paved the way for the future of our Corps. And our nation owes them a debt of gratitude and then some. And gentlemen, for your brothers, your brother Marines and sailors who aren't physically with us here today to tell their stories, rest assured, and I say rest assured, that the Marines and sailors sitting in this room tonight have carried on their legacy in Iraq, in Afghanistan, with honor, with pride, with courage, and just good old brute strength in the battle of Musekela and Sangin. Thank you again for what you did and what you continue to do. And now Bravo Company, or CEB, as I just tried to transition to your efforts on the battlefield, which very, very hard to explain and describe in this type of form, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Our third tribute tonight is to recognize Bravo Company 4th CEB and their contributions to the warfighting efforts in Afghanistan. Your contributions and the significance of your efforts last year in Musekela and Sangin laid the groundwork for success for follow-on units in Afghanistan. Last year, 4 CEB Marines, Bravo Company, were a part of an integral, decisive operation that had strategic implications. Meaning, if we secured a foothold, if we cleared an area that was infested with enemy resistance and brought in host nation support and civil affairs efforts into Musekela and Sangin, we would send a message to their country that the enemy could be defeated, and could be defeated on a piece of terrain where they've never been defeated before. These two areas were said to be unpenetratable by the top Taliban enemy force commanders. And guess what, Bravo Company? You proved them wrong. To rewind about 15 months and go back to April, May 2010, Bravo Company and myself, we all started out in a place called Farah Province, Bakwa and Burroughs District in Afghanistan. This area was somewhat benign, meaning there wasn't a lot of enemy contact, but there was still a significant booby trap, an explosive type threat present in our area of responsibility.